to the Between the Pages podcast. Today we are going to do Choices 2.
And by way of introduction, I am not a financial advisor, okay? And I am not giving you financial advice. What are we doing now? How do we get there? It's never too late. Never too late. And so I like this, the one that I use for the 4,000 weeks. I use that animation. Like the sweeping clock. The clock's going by. Now's the time. Time is your most valuable commodity. All you have to do is ask. It'll be revealed to you, and then you can implement the plan. Okay? Then, as you're going along, take an assessment. Look around. Who do you know that's doing what you're doing? How they doing? Compared to who? Okay? All right? If you're going to compare yourself to everybody else on your block, okay, that's fine. Then you're probably okay with where you are. You might just stop there. You don't have to go. Oh, and, there's a sales pitch with this, right? There's always a sales pitch. You guys, you're always trying to pitch some kind of, program. And that's what these people, this community church I went to. I mean, they had a thing for how you're going to make money in real estate. They had how you going to make money doing this, and there was a sales pitch. I got a sales pitch for you, y'all. You want to spend some time reading what? Read your Bible. That's a hard sale these days. I mean, I don't have many takers on that one, but everything that I'm talking about is in that book. It's already there. It's already laid out. And most people think that money's an evil thing, but it's the love of money that's an evil thing. And the Bible, I mean, it's 1/3 money is what it's talking about. It's talking about all this prosperity, lands, herds, flocks, silver, gold, tithing, offerings, all the things that are related, money related. The Bible's talking about that and how you should live your life. And that's part of the Abrahamic system. I didn't have a whole lot of notes on this, so we'll move on. Okay, so we're coming up close to the end, y'all, so it's almost over. You don't have to bear with me much longer, assuming you're still here. But don't fake yourself out. I threw this 1 Corinthians in there, 3:16, 18. I like the 3:16 verses in the Bible. If you ever want to have some fun, start in Genesis, read Genesis 3:16. Move to the next Exodus 3:16. Read all the three, because you'll come to John, your favorite, right? 3:16, for God so loved the world. But there are a lot of other verses that are 3:16 verses that are really good. And, we probably do a study on that. But this particular one says you can keep yourself clean. If you pollute yourself with the world view, your temple's going to be confused. You're not going to know where to go, and you're going to wind up in a situation you don't understand. After you've gone through it, you might be able to look back 20/20 hindsight kind of thing, go, oh, that's why I wound up where I was at. And so my thing is don't be thinking, oh, what I'll do is I'll just go run out here to the internet and consult it. If I was you, I would find the oldest, least successful person you know. That might be someone in your family. That might be someone you work with. That might be someone your neighbor with. I don't know. Find that person and ask them, if you had a do-over, what would you do? Okay, would you do anything different? If you had a do-over, what would you do? That is probably some of whatever they tell you. I mean, aside from the fact of, oh, I love the situation I'm in, I wouldn't do anything different. If you hear that, then find somebody else. But if they're going to offer you, well, if I had it to do over young whippersnapper, I'd get an education. I would have got an education. I would have got a better education. Yeah, these are the words you're going to hear. And these are the words you're hearing from me. And so, my thing is, don't take my word for it. I keep telling you, don't take my word for it. Find someone else you respect and ask them. In lieu of that, if you can't, there's a Jane, our trumpet train lady. We wrote a new book about her. It's called Hear, Hear. And you got to be willing to listen. And that's one of the themes that she said. She got her hand up to her ear. She's like, listen, hear, O Israel. And you got to be willing to listen, okay? And if you're not a listening person, then you're basically not a teachable person, okay? Because, whatever. But what I have found is that I don't have to be a good instructor. All I have to do is wait for the student to appear. Because sooner or later, one of them will come knocking on my door, and they do. Okay? And so they want to know. They want to know what the deal is. And I'm going to share something with you that you can do for yourself. I knew a girl. We'll call her, since we have donkeys, I'll call her Jenny. Jennies are female donkeys. So I would just say Jenny. And, I was talking to her about this very same thing back in 1994, 1995. And, she's like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, all right, well. And basically what I was talking about is you just buy yourself an ounce of gold every month. The gold was like $180, $200 an ounce, whatever. You can't afford that, well, then don't buy an ounce of gold. Buy an ounce of silver. Silver was probably trading somewhere around $3. But, invest in yourself. Invest in precious stones, precious metals, commodities, eggs. I know a guy who owns an oil well. For crying out loud, he owns an oil, and every day he pumps like 8 barrels of oil. $8 a barrel, I think, is what it's going for right now. So that's $560 a day. I have a low producing oil well. Commodities, you'll do a lot better. And the well runs, and he does something else, which is really nice. So you want to have things that are going to do things for you. When you're trading hours for dollars, at the end of the week you get your paycheck and you don't own anything. The guy that owns the business, he owns the stuff. He owns whatever it was you built, he owns it. She owns it. It's hers. And they just say thank you. And so the reason that is because they got an education and they started the business and they have goals. And guess what? You are a part of their goals. And so I was talking to her about this, and because she was in a JOB, she was admin of some type or something. And she said, well, I'll go home and pray about it, and I'll cast a fleece. And so this is biblical. You can go look it up and go cast a fleece. And she said, well, she cast a fleece, and she said, in the morning, Lord, if, if there's frost on the ground and no frost on the fleece, then I know that this is the right thing to do. And she came back and she told me, I said, well, what happened? She said, yeah, I woke up in the morning and there was frost on the ground and there was none on the fleece. And I'm like, Jenny, well, that's great. When do you want to get started? When do you want to start doing this? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, okay, well, I'm going to pray about it some more. So she goes home, she goes, throws the fleece out that night. This is true story. It's true story. Throws the fleece out that night. Says, Lord, if this is something I'm supposed to do, let there be frost on the fleece and none on the ground. So she thought, man, the night before, this is the way it was. I'll get what I want. Woke up next morning, went out there, frost on the fleece, none on the ground. Oh, my. Well, so she comes back. She tells, I said, well, how'd it go? She goes, Jimmy, she said, I went home and I reversed it. I asked for frost on the fleece and no frost on the ground. And guess what? I'm like, what? She said, there was frost on the fleece and there was none on the ground. I'm like, well, great. When do you want to get started? She's like, I don't know. I need to think about this. To my knowledge, she's still thinking about it. But you know what? I'm not. I took what happened to her and I said,
Oh.
this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And you guys, you can do whatever you want. Go cast your fleece. Go out there, test the water. Find somebody and ask them. Somebody who's successful. Go. If you ever can get a chance to talk to Bezos or anyone, Musk, anybody that's way up the chain, you're sitting there, you're running out there, you're going to some concert by some girl, we won't even mention her, and you're spending your money on that. You know what? She goes wherever she wants. She doesn't work. And Monday morning comes, and what do? Back to work. Just over broke. You took your hard-earned money that you spent your most valuable asset, and you gave it to her. And she's rich. So rich. And you're not. Why do you do that? I don't know. And so that's the question. So if she had, the average price of gold since the time I was talking to her was about $1,200 an ounce per month. That was 35 years ago when I was talking to her. And so that's 12 months. That's 35 years. That's 420 ounces of gold. She would have spent $540,000. That sounds like a lot of money. But that gold in the Friday close, which was around $4,200 an ounce, would be worth $1,000,000. Now, if you took away the 540 she spent to get that, that'd be a profit or a net of $1,224,000. And that's from doing nothing. Taking your money, buying an ounce of gold, putting it in a safety deposit box or a vault somewhere, and going about your business. You're not sitting there having to day trade where you like watching this stock. Oh, when do I sell? When do I buy? That's the concept they presented in this church thing. You know, I don't know. You don't have to do anything. Just sit there. Go do what you want to do. 35 years later, I don't know where your position is. We'll just say you're 40. You'll be 75. Time to cash out. Take it down there and cash it in. You'll have to pay some kind of gain or something. But the same thing's going to happen on those stocks. You're going to pay gains on those. Can't get away. Give unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. And so, you know, if you noticed back early in the presentation, when we had the Sabbath day and the coin in the fish's mouth. That's what that's about. You know, they were asking Jesus, Yeshua and them, they didn't pay their taxes. And he said, well, go get this fish out of the lake over there. He goes over and gets a fish out of the lake and bring it up, and there's a gold coin. And he said, here, take that and give it to Caesar. Give his taxes to him. You know, God will provide. You'll be able to pay your taxes. You'll be able to do whatever you need to do. Plus, you'll be able to do everything else you need to do. That's the Abrahamic system. Okay, if you're putting money into asset up on Wall and Broad, I just ask you a question. Who is your financial advisor? Who manages your money in your 401k? Give me their name. Do you know their name? I bet out of 100 people, maybe 2 know their name. What's the fee structure? You want to know why you don't have any money in your 401k? You may have some money in there, but you don't have everything you should have because of fees. Warren Buffett says, look, find yourself a low fee instrument if you're going to invest. And Warren Buffett, I mean, he's a stock guru. The thing about stocks is, well, okay, what do you know about those companies? Do they have the same Christian values that you have? If you buy stock in, you know, some company out there, well, do they believe in, you know, the same Christian values that you have? Whatever those are. Like marriage. Just for fun. Or, how about that one? You know, or, you know, do the ends justify the means? Does that mean thievery is a, you know, okay thing to do? And so the question you should be asking yourself is, if I'm going to buy stock in a company, what do I know about the people who run that company? That's what Warren Buffett says. He says, get to know the managers. Get to know what their values are. Now, he does it from a different point of view, but you should have the same kind of view. If you're going to go that route, then, you know, there are funds out there. I mean, you know, my second oldest son asked me one time, Danny, he said, you don't own stocks, and stocks are important. I'm like, well, there's the Timothy Fund. It's aligned with godly principles. You jump in there, put your money in there, and they're Christian people. You know, and I'm not endorsing them, okay? I'm not saying that if you do your homework, you can go out there and you can find things that are in line with what your beliefs are. I personally was always more interested in investing in people. And when you go down that route, you are going to be taken advantage of more times than not. But I have invested millions in people all across this world in countries far and wide through different activities and different missionary work and different whatnot. You can do the same thing. And I have never, ever lost any money that I have given away. I know that's hard to believe, but I have never, The money I've lost it fell out of my pocket, or I bought something stupid, or, bought the wrong thing. That's money I've lost. But when you're thinking about losing money and you're in the stock market and the daily greed and fear system, you don't lose money in the stock market. Now, I know there's people out there, Jimmy, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm turning off because you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm going to tell you what, this is what happens. Your money goes to someone else. Money is not destroyed. It just transfers hands. The guys at the Federal Reserve and places at the Mint, they bring in all the money that's not fit to be circulated, and they destroy money. They circulate money, but then they turn around and print up something to replace it, so it's not like it really ever goes away. And so if you can print up gold and silver, we'd have a problem, but you can't. It's finite and that kind of thing. So what I'm saying is, you look at this last chart is I'm thanking you. And you can send me questions and make them nice. I tried that. Jimmy, didn't work. Didn't work for me. Okay, fine. But if you're interested in knowing how to make things work, if you look around, you probably got $50. You can start right now buying 1 ounce of silver every month for the rest of your life, and you'd be okay. Okay? And so the question is, do I want to take the $10.50 in silver that you see there and trade it for, and I had my daughter go to the bank and get me some nickels and some pennies. There's $10 worth of nickels there and 50 cents in pennies. So $10.50 is the current minimum wage. Do you want to trade what you're doing today, the $10.50, today's money, for the pile on the right over there? If you got that pile on the right over there, and I can send you a check for $10.50 or give you coinage like that, and you'll give me that pile on the right over there, I'll take it. Okay, because a fool and their money are soon parted. Okay, and that's exactly what's happening. Okay, and so I took the other one and I put the little rainbow, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow thing. I was leaving work one day, AOB thing, and I was leaving and it had just rained, and I looked out the side of the car window I was driving. I could have walked over and touched that rainbow. Yeah, it was a double rainbow right there. And I knew enough to know this: I don't need to quit my job. My job is how I feed my family. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to do anything. The rainbow, the pot of gold you're looking for, is in your job. You just got to find a way to do your job better or better than the other person and get a raise, and then use that money that you get to invest in real commodities. Now, you could go in and ask your boss. I mean, all y'all who work for hourly wage and say, look, I want to pay in 1964 quarters. Well, most people wouldn't even know what a quarter is. Okay? They don't even carry quarters anymore. And I've seen quarters on the ground in the parking lot at like grocery stores, different places and whatnot. People just walk on by. They don't even bend over to pick them up because there's no value. But if I saw a quarter, I would probably pick it up. I'm just that kind of guy because I put it in an interest-bearing account at 4%. Even if it's worthless, at least earning that. And yes, that's part of the Babylonian system, the banking system of interest and debt and so forth. But what are you going to do? It's the system we're in. So I let that earn a little interest and I buy some silver. Okay, so whatever, I'll replace it. But the thing is compounding interest. If you could actually endure it and just put your money in a high interest account and let it just compound at 4% for 20 or 30 years, you'd probably do pretty well. Most people can't do that. They got to go get the money out and use it for something. But don't quit your job. But if your boss were to pay you in silver, would you feel like you actually had something? Yeah. If he's paying you in just regular coinage, you're not feeling so confident that you actually have something. You have a ministry. You are a child of God. It is your responsibility to help people break the chains of slavery associated with debt. I have attempted to do that today. And the reason why I attempted to do that is winter's coming. This is a picture of the creek on my land. That's our creek. That's the creek on our property in the dead of winter after a snowstorm. And there's nothing there. Trees are bare. I mean, there might be a fish or two down in the water somewhere. No ducks, no geese, no deer, no butterflies. It's a season of silence. And you want to talk about silence. I went down there and I took this picture, and it's like it's Babbling Creek and silent. So that's where you're headed. And so the thing is what you want to do is think about that and where you are and what your financial situation is, and you want to take action in spring. You don't want to wait till winter. Winter is too late. If you wait till winter, you're going to be dependent upon people who are in spring, and then you're going to be dependent upon what they determine needs to be done for you. Anyway, so if you like this and you think it's been a benefit, I appreciate your time today. Wow, it's a long one. I think it's worth it. I hope that you got something out of it. And hey, I could do probably 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 more of these with the stuff that I've learned through time. But I just wanted to capture the high spots and just let you know that we love you and God loves you. Primarily, God loves you. We love you. We care about you. Or else we wouldn't take the time to even waste our time to even open our mouths to even talk to you, to share this with you. And like I say, if you find it to be a benefit, then we appreciate it. So that's the end of that.
You want me to do the screen?
Yeah, you do the screen.
Like, subscribe. It was easy.
That was easy.
Like, subscribe, and follow.
Technology. We love it.
Be on the lookout for Choices 3.
Choices 3 is coming up. It's going to be dealing with physical aspects of health. So we've talked about spiritual with reaping what you sow in your Mom and Job, and now we've talked about financial. So next we're going to talk physical. So
it'll be good stuff.
Hopefully this is going to be a hard act to follow. So hopefully it'll be good.
See you next time. Like, subscribe, and share.
Thank you.